the little girl accidentally sneezed, and suddenly a honeycomb dropped from the sky. The woman was overjoyed, and quickly took the honeycomb home to make honey water. After all, honey was a precious item in that era. Looking at the adorable little girl in front of her, the woman felt immense happiness. What she didn't know was that the little girl's true identity was that of a celestial fortune star reincarnated. She only needed to go through hardships and understand the love of the world to awaken the power of the fortune star and eventually return to the divine realm. However, the little girl's stepmother was a malicious person. She would constantly beat the little girl, and whenever she was unhappy, she would lock her in the woodshed to reflect on her behavior. One day, the little girl suddenly sensed that her father was in danger, so she ran to the door of the woodshed and kept knocking. When the stepmother came, she begged her to save her father, but the stepmother didn't believe her. The next moment, her subordinate informed her that the little girl's father had died on the battlefield. The stepmother, upon hearing this, blamed the girl for killing her father, and hated her even more. She immediately ordered her subordinates to drag the little girl to the backyard and burn her. Just at that critical moment, the general arrived in time. He had been entrusted by the little girl's father to take her into his care. The stepmother had planned to deceive the general, telling him that the girl had died from illness, but her son revealed the truth. The general then took the little girl back to his mansion, planning to settle the stepmother's crimes later. When the little girl woke up again, she was already at the general's mansion. Seeing the little girl eat with such joy, the general and his wife felt sorry for her. They immediately decided she would become their daughter. However, the little girl immediately got out of bed and respectfully bowed to the couple, promising to repay them in the future. This deeply moved the couple, but just then, the general noticed that an old injury on his wrist had miraculously healed. Overjoyed, he picked up the little girl and planned to take her around the mansion, but as soon as they stepped outside, a withered old tree in the yard suddenly bloomed with peach blossoms. This further confirmed for the couple that the little girl was the reincarnation of a fortune star. At that moment, the little girl saw a black aura suddenly shoot out from the mansion, and instantly realized this was a magic array set by the National Master. Her arrival had just broken the array. Upon hearing this, the National Master was furious, deciding to kill the little girl first, and then destroy the general's mansion. However, due to years of war, the people in New York were suffering, and even facing famine. The general had no desire to fight the National Master, and instead exchanged the resources of the court for food to help the people. The people around also deeply respected him. However, as time passed, the general's mansion ran out of grain. Seeing that the rice barrel was nearly empty, the little girl grew worried, but to her surprise, large grains of rice began to grow visibly in the rice barrel, immediately solving the urgent problem for the general's mansion. Seeing this, the general and his wife were overjoyed, and continued helping the people. But at that moment, the stepmother suddenly rushed over and knocked the little girl down, demanding she give up all the food, and even preparing to take revenge on the little girl. However, the stepmother didn't expect that the little girl had already gained the affection of the general's mansion. Those who had received the general's kindness saw her bullying the little girl, and immediately picked up sticks to drive her away. Seeing that she wasn't getting any food, the stepmother's hatred for the general's mansion grew, and she secretly colluded with the National Master. One night, they